Please, 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 this is why we're here. We're going to talk a little bit now about the First Lady. Pretty cool. I'm excited as a member of the FISD, which is the First Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment.
Dad.
I serve there on their command as their public relations officer, one of them. And with me are some of my lovely, strong, leading Stormtrooper ladies that I will let them introduce themselves. Ingrid.
Oh, me first. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Ingrid Moon. I am an 11-year member and former XO of FISD and former
Video's back up.
Relations officer. And yeah, now I'm kind of slowing down as I've been doing this for many years. So I will pass it on to Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea, TK6093, 10-year member, and I'm in the Canadian Garrison. Gina?
Okay. Hi, my name is Gina Kennedy, TK1548. I'm a member of Garrison Tyrannus and been trooping as a Stormtrooper since 2007.
Yeah, so we've got some long-standing ladies in white here, Sam. Yes. How does that feel, like when you're with 501 members that have costumed as Stormtroopers, and here we are with you?
I've only been doing it for 8 years, but I love the fact that you guys even exist, and also paved the way for me, because the 501st ladies were trooping in armour long before there were women in the armour, or me, in live action. So you guys paved the way, and I like to think that that had something to do with Lucasfilm and JJ deciding that he wanted that to change. So thank you. I am indebted to you, and I love how strong you guys are, and the fact that you guys do it just for the laugh and not getting paid like I do. I mean, I love what I do, but it's very different. And to raise money, and you know, you guys have day jobs, and you pay for your own armour, and you know, take the time out of your busy lives to troop and to raise money and to visit sick children. It's just, I was saying to someone, a member on my page the other day, that I admire you guys so much, and I couldn't do what you do, especially for some sick children. I was talking to Alvin about it, and he said a lot of times the troopers don't take off their helmets because they're crying underneath. I couldn't do it. So I'm hugely in awe of you guys, and I think the phrase "bad guys doing good" sums it up really well. Hence why we're here today.
Well, thank you. That was really flattering and wonderful. I was not prepared to hear you talk about that. That's very heartwarming, being a lady in our armor. And I think we feel the same way about you. Thank you for, you know, bringing that to the screen so people have the ability to see that there was a beautiful, strong woman in that armor.
Thank you. I'm a huge advocate for representation. Being a woman of colour, I'm also a type 1 diabetic. And a lot of people could be quite churlish about it and like, so what? And I get a few trolls. But it's so important. You can't be what you can't see. And I have countless stories about young girls, or you know, people of colour, or diabetics, or just people who have told me stories about them feeling seen because of me. And I've told a story many times about my second ever convention of a 5-year-old with her dad, and she was playing, sorry, you guys have probably heard this story a million times at home, but I'm going to say it again. She was playing Star Wars with her brother and his friend, and her brother said, I'm Luke Skywalker, and his friend said, I'm Han Solo. She said, I'm a stormtrooper, and her brother's friend said, you can't be a stormtrooper, you're a girl. And she said, yes, I can, because Snap Darlene's a stormtrooper and she's a girl. I literally just got goosebumps. Every time I tell that story, it makes me emotional, but it's a true story. She knew my name. Everyone's like, how did she know your name? She's 5. She'd been watching the Blu-ray with her dad, and he specifically pointed me out to her and said, her name is Snap Darlene, she's the first female stormtrooper. And so that's just one story of many. So it is so important for people to know. And there's a lot of people that still don't know. I encounter people on Twitter or Instagram every day that go, oh my God, I didn't even know there were female soldiers, which is why I'm always trying to bang that drum and get people to know, because it's important for little girls to know, but also for little boys to know.
Yeah.
Because they need to know that we exist as well. So yeah, it's a hugely important representation, and I will not stop banging that drum.
Fantastic.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
Along the same lines, like I was inspired to become a stormtrooper by a young woman that I saw at San Diego Comic-Con when they were doing their big giant group photo, and they all took off their helmets for their buckets off photo, and just this cascade of blonde hair rolls down. And somebody told me later what her name was. I don't think I've ever met her, but when I was like, even for me, who has never really been a gender like limited person, I play baseball, football, whatever, but for some reason in my mind, all stormtroopers were male. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I can be a stormtrooper. I'm going to be a stormtrooper. And so that literally within months, I was like, getting my stuff, doing my thing.
That's amazing. Do you know what? I feel like it's a bit of a default setting inside. I don't ever really remember thinking about it, because it's kind of, I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan before. I was in Star Wars. I hate to admit that, but it's true. And I don't really remember ever thinking about stormtroopers being men or women, but I cannot tell you the amount of times at work where we're in a group, we're filming, and the director, not the director, but an AD or a lighting person or any other crew member will say, "Excuse me, boys, can you just move over a bit?" And I will literally go, or someone will try and get past me and they'll go, excuse me, fella, can you, and tap me, and I'll go, "Not fella," and they'll be like, and you know what? To their credit, they are always so embarrassed, but it's just that default setting in your head. You see a stormtrooper with a helmet on, and you just think, "Guy," and it's quite funny at times because their faces are like, "Huh?" I remember when I was filming, oh God, this is the problem when you've done so many. Rogue One, and we were in Jeddah at the beginning of the movie with Cassian and Andor walking through. And there's a bit where a group of stormtroopers go running through the crowd, and the extras were being a little bit extra-y and refusing to move out of our way. And it was getting really frustrating. And I was said to the AD, I was like, "Can you ask them to move when we run through, because they're supposed to be scared of us?" But they were like, "We're not moving, we're not." And then I asked the sound guy if there was any sound in the scene, and he said, "No, we're going to be dubbing." I said, "Great, thank you." And then they said action, and I said some words that I can't repeat here as I was running through, and they all moved out of the way. And then after that, the director, we were on second unit, so it wasn't Gareth or Tony, or it was someone else, I can't remember, came out from like the tent thing and came and went, "Who was that stormtrooper at the front?" And I was like, "Oh God, what was that?" And I took my helmet off, and he went, "Oh my God, you're a girl!" And then he was like, "You're a badass!" So I was like, "Thank you." So even then, like, the shot, like you said about the hair, that's the best bit, when you take it off. And mostly I have my hair up, but for some reason my hair was down. And I literally went like that. I gave him the whole, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're a girl!" So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, like I said, they're always really embarrassed when that happens. But I've got to, I won't ever just shut up about it. And especially if someone makes that mistake at work, I will point it out to them, because, they need to know, and it needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's how we break those mental stereotypes and mental.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It needs to be like the norm, considered as the norm. The numbers aren't as where I'd like them to be. Oftentimes I feel like if I wasn't there, then there would be no females, which is quite sad. And I'm getting on a bit, and things are starting to hurt. So I would like there to be, there should be a 50-50 split of men and women doing it. So that I'll be happy when there is, and when it's just, the norm.
Speaking of helmets coming off and hair, do you have helmet hair problems like the rest of us?
No, because we have to wear balaclavas, because otherwise at certain points you can see people's chins, which is not good, because we're not meant to be typically human looking. So we wear balaclavas. So oftentimes I'll just have like a bun like this, and then the balaclava, or like a low bun. So yeah, I'll get balaclava head, not helmet. And you will get lines from the valley like here, and they're quite annoying, those things. And oftentimes they're quite small, and then they cut like a little slit so that it's just one of a long list of things that you have to think about when you're a trooper.
Yeah. You get one hair that comes out and you can't tuck it back in.
Yeah, you get a little bit of hair and then it gets all sweaty and you have to keep brushing it back in. When we had masks during COVID, shooting Andor, oh my God. Like, it was like a whole rigmarole, having a helmet and a mask, and then like mask down, tuck in your belly, helmet on, helmet off, mask up, out of your belly. and it got to the point where you could sometimes, instead of chins, you were seeing blue masks, which was a problem. But obviously, you know, safety is paramount. But yeah, that was really tedious. And we try and keep them on, but obviously that's just, you're asking for trouble. Like, you don't need troopers passing out from not being able to breathe.
No.
But yeah, there's a whole lot of things. I'm sure you guys know, the toilet issues, which I've spoken about a lot. Yeah, like aches and pains, having to take, you know, painkillers, often preventative, because you know you're going to be in pain at some point during the day. We have, I patented my own word for the positions we get ourselves into to alleviate the pain. It was what's known as stroga. You have to say it in an Australian accent, stroga. And it's stormtrooper yoga. And they are the positions we get in to alleviate the pain when it starts to set in after like 10 hours on set. So it's really funny because directors will come on and they'll see all these stormtroopers bent into these really weird positions and they'll be like, what are they doing? And it's like, stroga. Because, you know, if you get in a certain position, like lean forward, it takes it off your back and your shoulder when it moves all right. So yeah, there's lots of stuff, and I might write a handbook one day for like new troopers so they can get to grips with all the stuff you need to know.
Well, considering sometimes they hire people from the 501st, maybe I'm not supposed to talk about this, sometimes to be in things.
No, I think we're allowed. I think it's common knowledge on the Mandalorian and
that's true. It's credits too, right?
Yeah,
so,
and there's been photos. I love that. And I was the same guy I was talking to online in the Legion the other day. I said to him that I am honoured to be, you know, amongst you guys as an honorary member, and I think you guys are. Because he was just saying, "Oh, I'm just in the 501st. You're in the shows," and I was like, "No, don't play what you guys do down. It's so important." And I said to him, "I believe that the powers that be at Lucasfilm, they also hold you guys in such high esteem. Hence why they used you guys, because it's just an extension of the family. We're all one big family, and you guys are just an extension of that." And I know how much Lucasfilm love and appreciate you guys, and you know they'll invite you guys to premieres. In the crowd, I've seen 501st. I went to a screening of Andor and they had 2 501st troopers there because I was like, hang on, why didn't I get the call? And then my friend was like, oh no, they're 501st, and I was like, oh, that's good. So yeah, I love the relationship that Lucasfilm has with you guys. So yeah, I know how important they think you are, and you guys are.
Well, thank you.
Well, and for flattering. Did you ever celebrate a Christmas on set?
Oh,
did you ever film during Christmas time?
You know what? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so, because mostly Christmas is like release time. So I think mostly I've done the premiere maybe at Christmas time. So like The Last Jedi, we just had the 5-year anniversary of that premiere. And that was really nice. It was close to Christmas and it was nice to see everyone, and you know, we all went for a drink afterwards to warm up because we were so cold. I think I worked out we were stood still for 8 hours or something. And if you're cold and you're not moving, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And I was breathing so, like, because I was freezing, that I fogged up my visor and it just wouldn't go. And I stepped on Kelly Marie Tran's dress, and because I couldn't see, and it was all.
Oh no!
So I ended up having to flag down a staff member to take me behind something, a sign, so that I could take my helmet off, and then she used her scarf because she was nice and wrapped up warm, and then I cleaned it and then put it back on and went back into position. So that was fun. It was freezing, but we got to see the princes Harry and William, and then BB-8 was rolled across the carpet, and then we got to go on stage at the Royal Albert Hall for the national anthem, which was that's one of my most like proudest moments. I shed a tear then because they stood up, the princesses, and the spotlight was shining on them, and then everyone stood up and sang the national anthem, and I got really teary under my helmet. So I was like, wow, I'm on stage at the Royal Albert Hall, the princes are there, like the national anthem. It was I've had a few moments like that in my career where I'm like, wow, like this is special. And then I think episode 9 was a December release as well. Sorry, my brain gets a little bit fuzzy with these things. So yeah, Christmas time is usually like about releases. So it's nice, and we'll get to hang out afterwards, which is fun. But like being on set is fun if it's your birthday. I don't think I've ever had a birthday at work. I'd love that because everyone sings happy birthday to me and stuff. But yeah, being on set for any special occasion is great. I remember like football matches and stuff where they're like putting on screenings and stuff. It's great. Being on the Star Wars set is just an amazing place to be. Everyone's just walking around, big smiles on their faces because it's just
so surreal and wonderful.
Yeah.
Andrea, you had something you wanted to ask Sam, right?
Yeah, so I just had like a little fun hypothetical question. I'm assuming you're familiar with the concept of Secret Santas. And
yes.
I was just thinking that if you were in a Secret Santa group and you ended up drawing somebody who was a stormtrooper, what are you getting them for Christmas?
If I don't want to be off. I mean, I have my Christmas tree in front of me. We have disco cactus, which I've put streamers on for Christmas. But my tree's actually here, and obviously I could be really obvious and say that I'd get, the Christmas bauble of the trooper. So this is the only stuff because I'm quite anal about my aesthetic. So, but the tree's like peach and pink and white. So he's allowed because he's white. She. And I say, see, I just did it myself. Can we scrap that bit? But if it was somebody who actually troops, I hate to be gross, and I talk about this a lot, I would buy them a shiwi if it was a female trooper, because that thing changed my life.
Oh my gosh, yes.
If they didn't have one, that would be their Secret Santa thing, because literally, before I had one, it was a 45-minute round trip with my friend Christelle from Costume. Hi Christelle, for watching. She lives in New Zealand now. 45 minutes, taking pretty much all of it off, going to the bathroom, and then her having to put it all back on. Not fun. And now, I went to a festival in a break between movies, and I'm diabetic, so I go to the bathroom a lot. Sorry, this is gross. But anyway, I bought one, and then I was like, ding, I can use this at work. So now, yeah, I'm in and out in 2 minutes. So that's what they'd get. Let's change us something that could be gross.
Gina, what do you have something? Yes?
It was funny. I didn't realize that Samantha was a diabetic. And I am too. So there's a different level of thought process when you're trooping that you have to be aware of at all times. And
yeah, I mean, people. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It does expand into keeping aware of yourself and your level, and the troopers around you also that have the same issue. You kind of keep an eyeball on them as well. I mean,
people kind of think that making movies is glamorous, and it's not for anyone really. There are moments of like niceness, but it's tough. It's really tough. Being a stormtrooper is really tough. Being a diabetic stormtrooper has its own unique challenges. There's not often a lot of skin that you can access to inject. Over the years, my lovely friends in costume, family now really, have helped me to customize my costume bits and bobs so that there's holes in a lot of stuff, so that I can literally just unclip my leg thigh piece and then pull it down, and there'll be a hole in the leg or in the arm, of my cat suit so that I can inject. We're not allowed phones on set, so I now have a CGM, a Freestyle Libre, so I have to have my phone, which has to be with an AD at all times so that I can scan. And it's not always easy to find that person because, you know, they're all over. If we're on a huge, like in Ferrix, it was huge. Literally, it was a real town. It was stunning. It breaks my heart that they knocked it all down. But oftentimes, the AD would be at the other end of Ferrix, and I'd be like, I really need to scan, I don't feel well. So that was hard. And then, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the alarm, the default alarm on that thing when you go too high or too low. Oh my God, it's loud. It's piercing and it's shrill. And I forgot once to turn it off completely. And it went off, and like, that's not good when you're filming. To hear like the worst alarm noise ever. So yeah, it's tough. I'll often have some snacks or some sugar hidden in my costume somewhere. But yeah, it's tough. I'm not gonna make it like lie and say it isn't. It is, but I'm really proud of myself because being a diabetic, as you know, Gina, is tough. It's a challenge, and every day is a challenge. And I think they worked out like the amount of extra decisions we have to make in a day versus a normal person. Like every 30 seconds, you're thinking, "What do I need to do? What do I need to do?" Your brain never stops, and it's tough. And you're walking a tightrope constantly because you're trying to maintain levels, and it's tough. So being a stormtrooper and doing that, I'm really proud of myself. Yeah. So shout out to all the diabetics. Sharon, if you're watching, my little baby boy, he's diabetic. Everyone, all of you, I love you dearly, and stay strong. You know, we've got this.
And you know what, ladies? That's it. Our half an hour just went. And we are.
I'm so sad, but there's so much more I want to talk about.
I know.
I tend to go on a lot, but I am doing another panel tonight, guys. So that is, I think, 6 o'clock EST, which is 11 p.m. here. So I'm going to go and have some coffee after this. So be sure to tune in. I'll be with Ardisha and Tate. Looking forward to that. Guys, I know everyone was having a cost of living crisis and we're all suffering. But please, if you can, spare anything, no matter how small the amount. There's lots of very cool guests here taking time out to speak to you lovely people. And it would be really good if we could raise lots of money for the World Food Kitchen. I forgot to show you all my Christmas jumper. But stay safe. Merry Christmas to everybody. Love you all. Thank you for your support. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I love you all. You're my family. Strong ladies.
Thank you.
See you. Or not? I mean, we can keep going, guys.
We can keep going.
There's one question I was dying to ask.
Okay, go. I think
because you've been in so many things. No, it's cut.
Okay.
Because you've done so many things. What is your favorite? Like what costume, what character, what?
Oh God. Hi James, was that okay?
Oh, we can still hear us all. So, oh yeah, keep going, ladies, keep going.
welcome back everybody to the 501st Holiday Special. I am William Holmes. I am SL 7014 coming from San Diego, California, and members of the San Diego Explorers Garrison, as well as the adoptive son of Imperial Sands Garrison. I want to welcome everybody back. We're coming up on $3,500 on our goal for the World Central Kitchen. We want to try to get that $4,000 mark, get it fast. Please make your donation, whether using the QR code or on the screen. And I want to start this segment. Our current segment is Sharing the Holidays with Catherine Tabor. I want to first welcome Catherine with us today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. And we have a wonderful group of panelists from all across the world. And I'd like to start off maybe just saying a few words for where we're from and just that. And I'm going to pass off to Michelle Petty, our Nebraska representative.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Petty, DS 39150, coming at you from the cornfields of Omaha, Nebraska. And I am the Detachment Commanding Officer for the Rebel Legion Galactic Senate, or as Bill likes to call me, Princess.
It is true. And pass the baton, Michelle, please.
Next up, I have Alicia.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm a member of Rebel Legion Canadian Base in Canada, and I'm from Ontario. I guess we can go to Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew from the Rebel Legion Elstree Base. And I'll pass that over to Becca.
Hi, I'm Becca from Sunrider Base, local to Los Angeles, California. So excited to be here. I'm going to pass it to Momo then.
Thank you so much, Becca. Hi, everyone. I'm Momo Navarri from Mexican Base. So greetings to all of you from Mexico. I'm so happy and honored to be with you. All of you are amazing. And oh my God, with Kat, oh my God. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Well, I guess when I first want to kick off and discuss kind of a little bit, I mean, obviously, Catherine, we know your background. You're one of the most beloved characters in the Star Wars universe. Padme Amidala from the Clone Wars, the voice that is one of the longest running and amazing series in this particular thing. Not only that, you have done Leia, you have done voices from Public. You have quite a career. Is Padme your favorite character? I mean, I really kind of want to know what is your favorite character and voice, or are they all different?
They're all different, but Padme definitely is my favorite. Just everything about her as a character is probably the closest and dearest to my heart. Like the fact that she's beautiful and feminine and elegant, but also still can pick up a blaster and get in there and fight with the best of them. So she's my favorite, but it's been an honor. And anytime I've gotten to play Leia, which is usually as a younger Leia, except for the live stage show that we do, the Smugglers series, where I just got to read regular Leia. It's very cool to play Leia too, because that attitude is just a lot of fun. But I mean, in all of the characters, like Mission is very dear to my heart for other reasons too. But I know you're not supposed to have a favorite child, but Padme is my favorite.
we all do in our own. I understand.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
I don't think you're alone in that one here. So
I'm pretty sure virtually most of our group, other than Palpatine, might have a little problem with that. But other than the Emperor, I think everyone here is going to really think that Padme is pretty important, especially Anakin.
Nice.
Is there any, again, one thing I kind of ask, is there anything you would like to share about your working on the Clone and share with us some of your favorite moments or things that kind of really sparked with you about this character, or even just working in the series?
I mean, the best thing about Clone Wars, honestly, really was the family that I developed working on the show. Just some of my best friends in the world, James, Matt, Ashley. I just love these people. And so I know that like a lot of times in the entertainment industry, people pretend like they're getting along and they're family. But we really are. And that's probably my favorite part. And some of the things that we got to do as a cast in person, like when we did a USO event, that was really cool. And just I have the best memories and some really fun videos of like us walking down the hallway in Orlando at some of the different celebrations. So I just love that part. Getting to go to Skywalker Ranch, which is where I got this t-shirt. That's pretty dang cool. And I got to do that several times with those guys. And then also just as an actress, because it was really my first big kind of gig. And then just working with these people, I always say it was like going to Harvard for voice acting, because I'm with D. Bradley Baker and just all these amazing Corey Burton, all these people that are just super, super talented, and just kind of learning from them.
Well, before we go to like talking about our, and really the spirit of this is the sharing our holiday traditions over coffee and eggnog and drinking today. And over during the holiday special.
I have straight vodka.
No, it's very.
No, it's not. Not yet. Maybe later.
Later. But what I would kind of like talk about is there anything that you're working on now that you can share, talk to us about, or anything you'd like to share with guests and those who are watching at home today?
The things that I'm working on are very bizarre because it's the end of the year. So they're just random things that people are trying to get in. And I don't even know if I can really even talk about them, but they're not Star Wars, sadly. So,
quite an interesting career outside itself too. It's like, I know we're highlighting the Star Wars end.
Yeah. The Star Wars stuff is definitely my favorite. Loud House is still going on Nickelodeon. And honestly, like right now, like this week, what I'm working on is very funny because it's two very different things. I'm working on a book actually that's very, very dark. And then I'm finishing this game that is it's a game, it's a phonics game. So it's actually for little kids. It's called Osmo though. It's a really cool thing. And I've been doing that for a while, just here and there, but it's very funny, the dichotomy of the two things. One is very dark, and then the other is like super happy. So.
I got it. Then I'm going to start talking about, we're going to like start turning over to our panelists. Is there any, first of all, holiday, is there any questions that our would like to ask Catherine? Have we been thinking about things or that? Everybody gets quiet. I'm putting everybody on the spot.
Well, I would like to ask, we love Padme because she's a beautiful person, beautiful character inside and out. But we also know that Padme is like the biggest fashion in Star Wars. So I really I want to know, you can choose one gown from Padme Amidala to wear these holidays. What will be your favorite?
I really do like the Lake Country dress. I just think that it embodies so much of like what her overall style is, with the purple and but it really would be hard to say. Like I have that book, Dressing a Galaxy, specifically because it's got such beautiful images of so many of her outfits. But I also love the casual outfits, and for instance, the adventure tight outfit that I was wearing, where you can you can have adventures and do things like that too. But they're all so beautiful that it's really hard to say. But I guess, I mean, I just love that scene so much out with Naboo in the background. That's definitely one of my favorite dresses. I can see myself. I mean, I wore her universe version of that dress, so I guess I kind of have worn that one.
It's a perfect choice.
But they're all so good that it's very hard to choose.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I can only imagine, because the amount of detail that goes into all of the gowns. I mean, in the movies, even in the animation, like,
Yeah.
so impressive. But the ones that were actually made, the like detail and work that requires like members that we have that reproduce these things. It's absolutely incredible.
It is. Whenever I'm at an event and I see some of the work that has gone into some of the outfits, it's truly, and even today, I mean, it's truly astounding. And I loved that E.K. Johnson in the Queen's book series made so many of the aspects of her clothing have a purpose. They were like armor, or they were hiding weapons, and that just made it even cooler. So clothing with good functions too.
I do think E.K. Johnson flushed out a lot of things that I think it was really, really developed the character that much more.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Anyone else before we move on?
I have a holiday related question. I feel like Anakin and Padme would have like traditions every year. What would you think like one of theirs would be?
I guess maybe I'm just thinking of like, him floating a pie or something across the table. I really do think like some of my favorite scenes with them, like in the romance aspect, are when they're away from everything fancy. So I would like to think that maybe they would just have a really simple picnic dinner on the floor or something, where they just had, simple things maybe from their childhoods that they both really liked, But I am thinking of some kind of like apple turnover, not necessarily an apple, but space fruit turnover that they shared.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely picture them in like comfy, like matching pajamas next to a Christmas.
That's exactly it. Yes,
that's perfect.
Everybody's getting quiet now. Anyone else?
Well, if I want to add also, I know you are a really big figure in the world of Star Wars. So I want to know what kind of things you used to include in your holidays. Talking about Star Wars, like maybe you decorate with some things or Star Wars, or I don't know, maybe do a little bit of bantha milk for the inner holiday. I want to know.
I was going to say I had some warm blue milk with nutmeg, but it sounded so gross that I was like, maybe I won't say that. I do have quite a few Star Wars ornaments that I have been given. And then I haven't used them this year yet, but I'm going to be going back to my family's in a couple of days, so maybe we will. I also have a lot of the Star Wars cookie cutters, so that's very fun to do that too. So there's so many fun Star Wars food recipes out there that are just I want to try a bunch of stuff. I don't ever have enough time, it seems, but I at least have the ornaments, and sometimes I have like a little grouping of Star Wars ornaments that I don't put all on the tree, but like in a little bowl or something in the bathroom for the guests to come by.
That's so cool.
I have a non-Star Wars related question. I was just curious if you have a favorite holiday movie and which one it is.
I really like, my mom and I were just talking about this. I really like the movie Mixed Nuts. And if you haven't seen it, I totally recommend seeing it. It's very fun. It's just a quirky, goofy movie, but it's really fun. So I love that, and then I really love like the old animation, like the old Rudolph and the Peanuts Christmas special. I'm about to pick up my dog, so I'm not leaving.
Yeah, we want to see your dog.
We're just gonna have a guest join us.
That's fun.
I also got a new dog last week. He's just like sleeping back on the couch there.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I love the Peanuts Christmas. I try to find that if I can. Yeah, those are the ones that make you just feel very holiday-ish.
Rudolph was always my favorite as a kid, so I'm glad you said that.
So good. So good.
No, I'm glad you said Mixed Nuts. I love that movie so much. I actually only saw it later on. It wasn't like I saw it like a friend of mine introduced me to it. It was such a great movie.
It's really sweet. Like I totally recommend if you haven't seen it to check it out.
Got a lot of great actors in it.
Yes, really talented people.
But no, and then I guess talk a little bit about all of our holiday traditions. I mean, some of our, it doesn't have to be Star Wars related. I think that's one of the things, I kind of, for me, and then I'll kick it off and I'll kind of pass it to you, Catherine. But like for me, I had a very simple holiday tradition. Like obviously Star Wars is a Christmas Day thing. I will watch all of the Star Wars movies in the background of whatever I'm doing. But like the big holiday for me as a kid was New Year's Eve. And it's so funny. It's definitely not a traditional New Year's Eve. I think my mom and I would watch science fiction and horror movies all day. Or and do all this, they can just watch these awful, some of them were movies and other were B movies, but it was so fun. And I still find myself to this day, that's my Twilight Zone marathon and everything else. What are some of everybody's traditions? I'm going to turn it over to you first, Kath. What are some of your traditions in your family that you really mean something to you?
Well, I love that. I love that you said that though, because I think really the most important thing about the holidays is getting to spend time with family and friends or roommates or whoever is dear to you, and hopefully not having a whole lot of other stuff to do. By the time the holidays actually getting there, I know everyone's a maniac leading up to it, but hopefully at that point you're just kind of relaxing and you're sitting on a couch. And one of the things that the holidays just always bring to mind for me, and this is what I would love to know about what you guys do, is what do you eat on the holidays? Because for Christmas, we always still do a turkey. My big family, it's not a big family. My nucleus, is it nucleus or nuclear family? We eat turkey, kind of do a repeat of Thanksgiving. And then my birthday is actually the day before New Year's. And so we usually do crab and or oysters on that day, because that's what I like. So I just think that's one of the fun things to hear is like, what do you guys eat for your holiday dinner?
Well, here in Mexico, we used to eat also turkey, but also we like to eat these kind of Mexican things like tamales. They are so delicious. It's a beverage, a hot beverage we call atole. It's made with corn, and so we really enjoy. And as like a holiday tradition, we love to break piñatas. And even we are like adults, we love to wait until the piñata room to take what we can take. So for us, this is so fun because at least here in Mexico, or the holidays, we used to get together with all the family, not only the nuclear family. We get together with our cousins, our aunts, the grandparents. So everyone is invited. So we are a lot of people making noise, get a lot of fun. So for me, it's a really fun and nice tradition. And I love this time of the year. I love the holidays, the Christmas holidays.
That sounds really fun.
opposite of the giant amount of people that Momo has, I can count all of my family on both of my hands. Very small. So what we used to do when my grandpa had his house was Christmas Eve, next week, is we would get pizza on Christmas Eve from like Valentino's and then eat that Christmas Eve night. My brother would sometimes stay and build his Connect set overnight, and then we'd get the Santa presents in the morning. And then on Christmas Day, we would have the classic ham and this really delicious cheesy potato casserole. And being from the Midwest, all about that cheese over here, honestly. But now, since my grandpa does not have his house and we are a lot smaller now, we are still doing the pizza on Christmas Eve, bringing some over to my grandpa's place. And on Christmas Day, we started making my brother's breakfast casserole and then a Alton Brown mac and cheese recipe that apparently I'm good at making since my mom has me do it every year.
That sounds good too.
We always did like, I'm also like Michelle, I have a pretty small immediate family and we don't always see a lot of extended family. So we would do Christmas Eve, people would come over to my family's house, and then we'd do Christmas Day with my grandparents' house. My grandma insists on cooking turkey. My mom hates cooking turkey. She never would on Christmas Eve. So I would always watch Rudolph on the couch while my mom put together a like charcuterie table basically with a bunch of crackers and cheese, and she always made this stuff she called reindeer poop. That I know it sounds gross, it looks gross, but I swear it's good. Like it's just this ball of like chocolate and condensed milk and graham crumbs, and it actually is so good. It's her dessert that she got from her mom, but that was always a tradition.
That's perfect. That's the kind of great tradition that is like funny and it's not something that everybody else does. And
being in Canada, we have to have Nanaimo bars every year. They're so good. If you don't know about them, they're so good. You should look them up. They're so good.
I love that. My traditions, I mean, my fiance and I are vegan, so they've changed since when I was growing up, but we found a place near his mom's that caters like a full vegan, like Thanksgiving style, like Christmas dinners. So we've just started doing that, much easier. But it's nice to like have that like whole meal still with him and his family. And it's casual, and we've always just done Chinese on an actual Christmas Day because it's again very easy but a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that.
My family on Christmas normally have Italian foods, and then on Boxing Day, very very stereotypical, we have haggis.
And what is that exactly? Because I always hear about it, but
oh Lord, give me strength. Like, oh God, I don't know how to describe it.
It's meat though, right?
It's sheep's stomach.
Okay, I should probably not have asked this question.
It's really good.
Especially given like brown sauce or barbecue sauce sometimes.
But it's one of those that it's like when you're describing it, it just never translates well.
Yeah, it really is.
I'll never ask again.
It's sort of funny because mine is kind of an odd one too, because of New Year's around my family's traditions is corned beef and cabbage, which is like the smell of the house is atrocious, but I love corned beef.
We always have cabbage rolls. Always.
Oh my God. Cabbage is like the best in every form. But I totally get it. It's like we're like, you like what? Sauerkraut or no cabbage? Yeah, any of it. It's all good.
I feel though, like, because I'm a lot Irish, and so I feel like a lot of people actually have corned beef and cabbage for different holiday type situations. It's sort of like another version of the turkey dinner.
It is. It really it is, because like where I grew up in more Appalachia, it's kind of funny because it's so much Scotch and Irish immigrants came to that region in that thing. So a lot of the traditions, and when I actually went to like Europe and the UK and Scotland, places like that, and I will hear the same words and like some of the catchphrases that I've never heard anywhere used in the world. But there, and it's so funny. I'm trying to think of one, but it's so funny how much that little pocket of the United States that really kind of kept some of those traditions alive, very close, but it was kind of funny. Just some of even the colloquial terms that will be used. I'm like, oh my God, I heard a Scotsman or an Irishman say that. I'm like,
Well, I have to ask too then, because you guys probably know, but that I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and so like it's the reason for the season. Does anybody go to like midnight mass or have a tradition like that in their families?
We used to, less so now because I've moved for university, but that was like, we always went to the, we had like the candlelight service on Christmas Eve. And so we would always, I distinctly remember like I would come home, take a nap, and then watch Rudolph while the family came over. That was like the way, and sometimes we had the plays. And everyone, wanted to be like the angel or Mary. I was usually like, I was tiny, so I was just like, the wise man, like with like the wig or something. But yeah, definitely did that.
Well, I remember when I was a child, because my grandparents already are one with the Force. Here in Mexico, a lot of people are Catholic, so we put like a nativity scene in some part of the house. And I remember my grandparent always, when on December 24, he used to put at the 12 a.m. he used to take the little kid, the Jesus kid, the baby Jesus, in the nativity scene, and all the grandchilds go with him to put the baby Jesus in the nativity. And that was a tradition about this religious theme in our family. And that was so cool for me, because I always waiting to see the baby Jesus in the nativity, in the nativity scene. I was like, oh my God, it's finally, he birthed. Yeah.
That's very sweet.
Our nativity scene had one pink candle by Jesus and the rest were purple. And I was always so excited to light the pink candle because it was my favorite color. And then my mom was, and I always wanted to light it. And she's like, no, you can't. You have to wait until like, Jesus was born. It's like, oh, okay.
What about presents then? Like, does everybody open presents the night before or the day of, or a little of both?
Kind of a bit of both for my family, because we open some on Christmas Eve, but then do the rest at midnight exactly.
Oh.
Midnight exactly.
Yeah. Which is quite fun on the lockdown one when I got a lightsaber, so it's just me and my dad fighting over it.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's so cool. I mean, here we used to, our parents tell us like, you need to go to sleep, because here we have like the same idea of Santa Claus, but we say like baby Jesus gave us the present. So I remember our parents told us like, it's time to go to sleep, because if you don't sleep, baby Jesus won't come. I remember we went to sleep and we wake up really early at morning at 6 a.m. like, oh my God, see all the presents Jesus gave me. And we were like, so excited.
For us, we always did Christmas Eve over at my grandpa's house and unwrapped there. And I specifically remember one year, I was like, hey, Mom, you didn't wrap this present I found downstairs by the futon. It was Dance Dance Revolution. I do remember that. And then it was bye from Santa the next morning. She was like, I didn't forget to wrap anything. That's how my belief got crushed.
Oh God.
Oh,
But we won't
no.
talk more about that, just in case.
Yeah.
My parents would always do. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I will ask to Kat. I want to know what about her traditions about the presents.
My mom and my sister are both nurses, and so our holidays would always be whenever they could be. And so sometimes if everybody was working, then maybe we would open presents the night before, but usually we open them on the day, kind of in the afternoon. Like I could never stay up till midnight, honestly. I would and if I did, I would just be like so not excited about anything. So yeah, we're just kind of like sleep in, get up, and then get to the presents.
No, I could identify that because as a kid, we would always do on on Christmas morning. But as an adult, when I was like, it was like I usually had to work on Christmas Day. So it depended on what point in Christmas Day I worked.
Yes.
So it made a big difference, and certain jobs is done. Well, I'm getting the call that we should be finishing up in our thing, and we're going on time. I want to first of all remind everybody if you have not already, make a donation to the World Central Kitchen. We're trying to get to that 4,000 mark. We're just under 3,500. I just checked. I'd love to get that number back up. This is an organization that helps humanitarian aid for food on the front lines all over the globe. They've been in Australia, Lebanon, the United States, Haiti. The list goes on. Please take a moment, scan the QR code, hit the link, make the donation today or tomorrow. Please try to get us up to our $10,000 mark. We really appreciate you tuning in and staying with us. And thank you, first of all, Catherine, for joining us today. You're an amazing guest, and it's been an honor to talk with you and all of our panelists, you guys from all over the world. Thank you for taking your time, including time zones that it might be harder.
Yeah.
Edinburgh, 9 hours ahead of me, I think.
We are very international. It's very exciting. And I definitely want to just say, to anyone who is watching or watches later, there is nothing better that you can do this time of year than to do something kind for someone else. There are people who really have nothing, and a meal, and just the idea that people cared about them and that someone wanted to make sure that they had a nice holiday too. It's everything. And when an organization like the 501st is doing something like this, and there's a QR code and it's easy, just do it. You'll feel good. It's tax deductible if you itemize. It's the best time to do it. And honestly, there really isn't anything better that you can do during this time of year than to think about someone else who probably doesn't have all of these wonderful family traditions and things, and you can help make it a little bit brighter. So everybody go do that, and the force will be with you.
The moment to say, do it. Yes.
This is the donation that you want to give.
But thank you so much for joining us today, and the rest. Yes, you guys have been an amazing panel. It's been an honor to work with you guys. And as always, the force is strong with us. Our community is always reaching out, all of our organizations, the 501st and the Rebel Legion, and all of our partner organizations. We work together, and we're so happy to be part of this. And thank you very much. And may the force be with you.
everybody. Welcome to the 501st Legion Holiday Special. Today, we are celebrating the Spirit of Life Day throughout the months of November and December. And this year, we're addressing one of the greatest challenges across the globe today, which is world hunger. And we are raising funds for the World Central Kitchen, as well as supporting our local food banks through global food networking. And you can click the links wherever you might see them on the screen. My name is Teresa, and my TK ID is 41307. And I am a proud member of the Badlands Garrison in Canada, specifically Northern Alberta, Canada. And we would like to welcome you to Jonas Suatamo. I think I got it. Best known to all of us here as Chewbacca. From the sequels, from wherever else you may see him, Lego. So yay, welcome.
Yay.
Thanks for hosting us.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes. So we'll just dive right on in. I'll start with the first question about being here and celebrating the upcoming holidays and what that might look like for you, as well as a little bit of, maybe throw some Star Wars in there too. As Christmas is nearing us, would you please share with us how you spend the holidays with your loved ones and what traditions you guys might have?
Well, as we go with our children, they are 2 and 4 year olds, our children, and everything is planned through them, and and to maximize their happiness and joy. So we will be spending Christmas with the family, traveling to see other family, and spending the Christmas with as much family as we can. And yeah, that's the gist of it. And looking forward to it. I'm not sure when I'll be able to. I'm currently traveling, so I hope I'll get to make it home way before Christmas. But if that's not possible, then as soon as possible.
That's a really fun age. Little kidlets that young are so exciting to see the magic of Christmas through their eyes. And so
it's the best. It's the best. Yeah.
It is really exciting for you as a new dad too. Like, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's our life changed when my son was born 4.5, almost 5 years ago. He'll be 5 in January. So it's been a fun ride, and especially now that there's 2 of them, they come up with all sorts of shenanigans and keeping us busy for sure.
Well, hi, Jonas. I've actually met you at Celebration. I organized the Wookiee Walk, and you came to the booth, the Mayhew booth, and that was actually quite special because it actually reinforced me how much of a family the whole Star Wars community is, and it was really nice to see. And so I just have that question: is it how does that the family influence what you do at Christmas? Do you bring some of those Star Wars kind of family kind of feelings into your Christmas at all, or is it no Star Wars at Christmas for you?
Well, I think I'm coming up to an age with the kids are coming up to an age where I'm starting to bring more. I think my son finally knows what I do. He was asked in his daycare, "What does your father do for work?" And he says he drives a car. so he doesn't. He's not clued in completely of this yet, but soon he will be. And I very well may start introducing more and more Star Wars into their lives now that they're getting ready to watch the films in a couple of years.
Are you currently working on other projects at the moment, or that you can?
Yeah, nothing I can speak anything about. But hey, well, I do have. It was just announced by Lucasfilm my role in this soon to premiere this new series called Willow, and that's going to premiere in a few hours, maybe midnight LA time, I think it is. and the first episode of Willow, and I'm going to be playing a part in that series, which is pretty fun.
That's fantastic. I am a huge fan of Willow, of the age group. That was a big deal for me way back when. So when I had saw that preview or that sneak peek that they showed us at Anaheim, it was like teared up. It was so ridiculous. I was like, who am I?
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It was so much fun to be. Once again, you won't see my face.
Okay.
And yeah, let's see if you can find me in there somewhere. But I'm not as lovable as Chewbacca was in the Star Wars films. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vicky from the German garrison.
Hello.
Hey. I think I'm the only one who has never worn a Wookiee costume before in this group. So sorry about that.
We are all Wookiees here except for Vicky.
Okay.
I kind of ended up here with not having a Wookiee costume, but here I am.
But you're in the process of making your own Wookiee costume, right? Just kidding.
Maybe I'm convinced after this. Let's see.
If you do, that is some serious handiwork that's required for those costumes.
That, so this is what kind of stops me from starting all the work and all the hair and everything. Yeah, I'd like to ask if you have any like special Christmas ornaments that you have on the Christmas tree, or is a Christmas tree something that you have in your family?
We haven't kept a huge Christmas tree. We have some little mementos that we have collected over the years, but we really, I mean, as soon as we've put them in the box, and we have so much stuff that we I need to get to those mementos and put them in, because I'm sure there are some Christmas tree decorations there. But my life has been such a whirlwind with the traveling and everything this year that I haven't even had a chance to check up on that. But surely, if I find some sort of a Star Wars thing, I will surely put it in our tree, which is it's a smaller tree. It's made out of plastic, I'm sorry to say, but it serves a purpose, a symbolic purpose in our Christmas for sure.
Yeah, I'm David. I'm a Wookiee as well with Rebel Legion over in the UK. And I've got a question really about Star Wars, funny enough. What was your first Star Wars toy you remember having? And do you still have any of the Star Wars toys you had when you were a child?
We do have the Star Wars toys. My dad, I think they were Star Wars toys that were made in the 90s, but they were from the original trilogy, of course. and we have a Luke Skywalker. We have I think we have some of the AT-AT Walker officers, and we have a random selection of these toys we had when we were kids. I didn't have them myself because I had two older brothers. Whatever I found my hands on, they would take away from me very quickly. So it was a struggle to. I think I managed to claim for myself a G.I. Joe toy, and that was my. No one could touch that, but that was my only triumph in that department. But it was, we shared a lot of the toys when we were growing up. Nowadays, I could probably lay more claims with my brothers, but we've yet to talk about it.
Jonas, I must ask, have you seen the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I have seen bits of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing, I must say. Is it something that I should be watching?
Well, I will be completely honest here too. I am with you. I'm one of those people who have not seen it. I haven't seen it.
All right.
Yeah. And maybe just right at the first beginning, I was like,
I heard it's great, but I still
either you love it or it's so bad you totally love it. Like, I think people love it all around. I've just not seen it, and I will admit it.
Yeah. To me, it seems like it's a sort of a thing. Once you truly evolve as a Star Wars fan, over the years, you'll gain the expertise to be able to fully appreciate it. And so I'm not there yet. So I need a few more years to become, hone my skills.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm a member of the detachment staff in the Rebel Legion UK and one of the Wookiee costume specialists. Just going back to your children, just wondering if they've made up their Santa list yet, and if so, what are they looking to get from Santa this year?
Oh, okay. My son has indeed written to Santa, and he has on his wish list. There are so many toys that we can't possibly fulfill all of those. But yeah, it's there are some Pokemon things, and there are some other dinosaur toys and whatever. So yeah, it's a big list, and we need to see if Santa can transport all those. Oh, but what's that question? Was have I written to Santa?
No, just the children. Yeah. But what would you like from Santa then?
Yeah, what would you like?
Me? Ooh, I've always wanted a lightsaber. So Santa.
Do you not have a lightsaber?
Sorry to let everyone down. I'm still looking for my lightsaber, but yeah, no, I don't have a lightsaber yet. I've seen them in conventions. I've seen these lightsabers, and one time, but my thing is, one time I bought an Aragorn sword, and my wife said that that's not something you want to buy, because it's well, I got a little bit critiqued for that purchase. So I've been hesitating on buying more swords, which I really want, but yeah, maybe they're not the best for family.
They totally are. I also own an Aragorn sword.
Oh yes,
I do.
Who doesn't want an Aragorn sword? Who doesn't want a lightsaber? Yeah.
It's funny, actually. This is my Makerspace class, by the way. So I help teach Makerspace in the middle school. So these are grade 7 and 8 students. And these students
hi, everyone.
actually, so these students have actually designed and are building lightsabers 3D printed, and we're actually doing the electronics for that. And we're actually doing, fully functioning lightsabers at the moment. Someone can grab the hilt over there, actually. So they're pretty excited to actually talk to you, because they're, I'm bringing a bit of Star Wars into the classroom with that. So we're learning how to design. So this is built in Tinkercad. This little lightsaber hilt and things that the kids have made, and there's little pieces that go on the end, and they're actually building them from scratch, which is kind of cool. So that's part of the.
That is amazing!
Yeah.
Wow! Thank you for teaching the kids the way of the Force, by the way.
The good, the light side, and the dark side, because we actually had a poll of who was in the light side and who was in the dark side before, and it's about 50-50 here in this classroom.
Oh, okay. That's not what I saw. I saw more hands.
I have a couple of kids that want to ask some questions. Is that okay, or is that
absolutely?
A good now, who wanted to? You had a question, didn't you?
Yeah.
So come and speak up close. Yeah. Say who you are.
I'm Deegan.
Hi, Deegan.
My question is, what was your favorite scene to act?
Ooh, my favorite scene is probably in the Force Awakens when I got to. It was my first day of working, and I got to step into the Millennium Falcon with Harrison Ford. That's probably, you can't, there's nothing in my life that can compete with that, because Harrison was just such a fun guy to work with, and he was always cracking jokes, and there was never a dull moment, because I was just a fan looking at what's Harrison Ford gonna do now. Oh, but on the outside, I acted cool.
We had one more. Is it okay if we have another question? You want just one more question? Madison had a question.
I'm Madison, and what was it like being Chewbacca?
Did you hear that?
What was it like
Being Chewbacca, I think. Like, did it change your life? Did it transform you into a different person after becoming that role? I think, right?
I think when I learned that the character that I was going to get to play was Chewbacca, I realized immediately how the shoes that I was supposed to fill are huge. I mean, Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca actor, he had laid such a groundwork for this character, but also it was such hallowed ground. It was such a precious thing for everybody. So I felt some nervousness going into this because I didn't want to diminish the character in any way. I was really my biggest critique or a critic when we were filming these. So I was very adamant that this character's spirit remained intact, even though there was at certain points different guy in the suit. So that was something that I cherished, and I thought that it paid off. But most important thing about Chewie to me is on the day when you step into the set of will it be Millennium Falcon or some other awesome set that they've built. It's that people always got a little quieter when Chewbacca stepped on the set, and I love that thing that Chewbacca was real, and even all the crew members, someone who doesn't really look like he could be a big fan of something, some Star Wars stories, but as soon as they meet Chewbacca, they become sort of like children again. And I love that transformation. That when you met Chewbacca, it was always, or when you met these classic characters and sets and Millennium Falcon, it sort of transforms people, and they remember what it was like to be a kid again.
That is true. My mother is a Legion member as well, and the first time she saw me in my Chewie, she cried and forgot that I was her daughter. She's like, I know you're not real, but you are. And she had tears and kind of lost her mind over her own daughter. I was like, it's me, Mom. But it was a really amazing experience to see that woman who saw Chewbacca for the first time in 1977 actually for a moment forgot who I was, and all she saw was Chewie. That was it.
I think that's the same for all of us, isn't it? Likewise, of going out and being in that, that's the reaction we get everywhere. It's actually, and that's kind of part of what we do it. And like, I love the reaction from the young kids, and just to bring a smile on people's faces is amazing. And then I can't imagine what it's like to be the guy. We are kind of the I don't know, the fake guys, I suppose, or the guys that are trying to emulate that a little bit. But it's really cool to be part of it, actually. So.
Essentially, it's about the same thing. You're in that moment, you're transforming the moment and making it about meeting your childhood hero, and it's about the same kind of magic, and it's really, really precious. And those I remember when Make-A-Wish kids came to visit the set, and some of them, when they saw Chewbacca, they'd run away, but some of them were they were instantly curious about Chewbacca and wanted to take a picture, and those were so those moments are so precious. And as well as the 501st well knows, this is really important stuff for all purposes.
Okay, this is more hate going because you'll get asked so many Star Wars questions, but as we've touched on here, just about everyone on the call has created at least one costume, maybe 6 costumes. It's really about in your first costume fitting, like with the mask, was it a life cast that they took for the mask so that it would be a perfect fit for you? What is the costume like to wear? Is it comfortable? Is it warm? We're just obviously curious because we know how we've done it, but ours can't compare to obviously the movie costume.
Yeah, that was a real interesting. It was first thing was the life cast. I was standing, and they started putting these patches of I forget what they are. What are the things that they put you on that hardens over time? What's that? I forget.
Paris, isn't it in English?
Yeah, plaster of Paris. We call it plaster of Paris.
Yes. That's the thing. Yeah. So they applied the plaster on me, and it took an hour, and so after that was done, and now whenever I, if I remember in Willow when I went to a fitting, there that same statue that they used for all my stuff was still there. Me in 2014. Set in stone. They have that statue, that life cast of me, which is a basis for whenever they need to try something on. So that's fun. And then I suppose the suit that got made, it's a lycra suit with individual double knotted yak hair. So that's takes some time. I always joke that the people who created those, it takes 7 seasons of a Netflix show to complete an arm and stuff like that. So it takes in all 42 seasons of a show to complete a Chewbacca suit. But that might be even an understatement, because it takes so long, and it's such a long project to individually put all those hairs in the lycra suit. But yeah, it ends up being pretty hot because you're obviously trapping a lot of heat under that hair, as all you Chewbacca actors know. But thankfully, if I can find on set, if I can find a fan, I usually ask the sparks, which are the electrical department. I usually ask them if they have a spare fan, and they always go get one. But they're great guys, and I've never been not helped when I'm in there. But yeah, my hat's off to everyone who goes to people shows and dressed as a Wookiee, because we need help. When we're in the costume, we do need help, because there's so many things that might come up, and yeah, it's good to have helpers around. And I usually have 2. One of them deals with the costume, and one of them deals with the mask, and yeah, that's the sort of thing. Hopefully I answered the question.
Oh no, that's great, thanks.
So how hard is it to walk on the stills? All you guys probably know that, but I don't. So you have stills, right? So
I don't have stills. I have shoes, and sometimes they put a little riser on the boot. But basically, it's basically sometimes walk on heels. Okay. But that's not, yeah. If it's a stunt scene, then I switch to normal size. But yeah, I switch around. But no stilts.
Do you sing Christmas carols? Carol?
We do. We have the. I was thinking. I heard that I was supposed to think about a Christmas carol that's dear to me. What's the Christmas carol that says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you." I guess that or Silent Night. One of those two is probably my one of my all-time faves.
Yeah, if I could. Yeah, obviously you mentioned your children are quite young, 2 and 4. But they might be a bit young for this. But do you have a favourite Christmas movie that you watch maybe on Christmas Eve, or something in that's a tradition you're trying to get into your house?
Well, they always show. I forget. I know the Finnish name of the movie, but it's some snowman. I don't know if it has the. I forget what the English name for it, if it's a different one, but they always show it, and we like to watch it every Christmas. It's about this boy who flies with a snowman.
Yeah, it's just called the Snowman. That's what it's called in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah.
Who would have thought? That it's called direct translation. That never happens.
You had a question here. Make sure you introduce yourself.
My name is Oliver, and I was wondering, which Star Wars movies have you played in, and what are the movies that aren't Star Wars have you played in?
Oh yeah, I've mainly done only the Star Wars films. That's my yeah. I started in Star Wars, and so I did the three sequel films: The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. And then I did Solo, the Star Wars story, in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. And yeah, and now just the Willow film. Willow series, which premieres on the Disney Plus. That's now also part of my catalog.
My name's Charlie, and my question is, did you actually make like the kind of Wookiee noise? And what's your best impression of it?
My best impression of Wookiee noise is the Wookiee noise.
That's pretty good. You want to hear the kids' version of that? Who can do
Yes.
that noise? Come on. Come on.
Amazing.
They're all shy, aren't they?
I'm literally the worst at a Chewbacca noise. I can't do it. I can't.
They're all too shy at making Wookiee noises for some reason.
Yeah, it's a.
One more question here, I think.
Go on. Yeah.
I think your name.
My name is Amelia. I'm just wondering if you keep your like cast like.
Do you keep in contact with any of your cast members? Was the question.
Any of the cast? I emailed Daisy sometimes, and who else? Who else? Yeah, sometimes with John. I've sent John Boyega. We've been contact, and Alden, of course, who played Han Solo in the Solo Star Wars story. And yeah, a few of them I keep in contact with. But yeah, I live in Finland for the most of the time, so I'm not where they usually, because most of them live in either US or England, UK. So yeah, we live far away from each other. But yeah, we do keep in touch from time to time.
My name is also Charlie, and my question is, which Star Wars movie was your favorite? One you've played in, or even just one you haven't?
Oh, one of my favorite ones. Well, Force Awakens was one of a kind film experience. But yeah, my favorite probably it's a toss up between the Solo Star Wars film or a Solo Star Wars story or Force Awakens. That's the yeah. But it's, I mean, they were all fun to be in. Even Rise of Skywalker, I got to do some great stuff in that, and I thought the trilogy ended in a very good way. So yeah, it's a difficult choice, but maybe Solo, a Star Wars story, since that was mainly about Han and Chewbacca.
You finally got your medal as well in the Rise of Skywalker, didn't you? You got your medal at last.
About time.
I have about a dozen medals in my Wookiee bag. Every con I go to, I always get a Wookiee medal for some reason. I think people feel for that first scene. It's a common theme to get a Wookiee medal at these cons.
Exactly. Yeah. Hold on to them, because yeah, you never know. You know, they might start taking them away from us. You know, hopefully.
As we are here all together addressing the serious issue of world hunger, the past few years have had a great impact on the world as a whole. I'm sure you've experienced that as well in Finland and where you are. As we move into a period of reemerging through that, how has that been for your family? How has that been for you? And what have you experienced or noticed through that all?
Well, obviously we're all, you know, watching the news, but we haven't personally felt any of the effects, but except like the rising costs and energy prices and stuff like that. So it's been, yeah, we're all hoping that there will be a solution to all this. You know, that's what we're hoping.
So raising money for the food banks, the demand for local food banks has been so great because people have struggled. As the 501st itself, we dedicate ourselves to our communities and our charities through, of course, our love of Star Wars. And are there any charities that are near and dear to your heart?
There have been a few that have been done something projects with, but right now there are no. I haven't attached myself to any at the moment. Yeah, so I'm still on the lookout for those.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you with us today addressing this issue, hearing a little bit about you as the man behind the Chewbacca suit. And it's really endearing to hear and to know and to learn that about you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a blessing. I will never become not grateful about it. I'm very, very thankful for the love that people feel for Chewbacca, and coincidentally then in some way for us who perform him. So yeah, it's been a great ride so far, and I can't wait to after now that travel is more open, to come and meet more people in all around the world.
Yeah, it must be highly rewarding for you. Like my experience with you was at Anaheim with our Starlight Child. A couple of us were with him and his family, and we had come to visit you, and the awe on his face getting to meet you guys was wonderful to witness, as being there with another one that's on here with us. We were able to witness that and witness the magic that you yourself are able to bring to, some of our sick children that we support. And we really, you can't imagine how much we appreciate what it is that you do for those people alongside ourselves.
Well, thank you so much. It's so important, and I'm so glad that I was able to, bring some joy into that moment, and very thankful. So thank you.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything they did?
I was just going to ask, we're really excited in the UK to have Celebration here next year, and will we be seeing you over here?
Hope so. I don't know yet. All that stuff I think will clarify when we get closer. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if I found myself coming to Celebration, because it's so close, to myself. So hopefully.
Well, thank you for being with us today, Jonas. Sharing your time. We know your time is valuable. It means a great deal to us, and it's been a very endearing, lovely, warm experience. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and remember.
Okay, how do you say Merry Christmas in Finnish? Or
Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas is just yeah. No, it's Merry Christmas is yeah, that's how you say Merry Christmas.
Well, I'm going to practice that one.
Keep practicing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you.